So a few minutes ago we just rescued the COV voice from a customer down the street from us. First thing we do with it, here's Mr. Paperclip. Look, he's stuck on the bottom here. The first thing we do with it is clean it out before we even attempt to fix it. Vintage piece of equipment. You can even tell by the keyboard jack in here. So we've got to clean it out and see what we got inside. Okay, we have the cover off, and we'll look at this together. Of course, we have this stuff, and here's some more. I don't care how clean your house or establishment is, that's what happens. Alright, let's take a look here real fast. Yeah, we're pretty loaded. We're pretty loaded. So the first thing we do is clean it out, and we're going to clean it out. The power supply was very, very hot. Matter of fact, it's still warm here in the wood shop. That's where we hit them first. So we have the handy compressor all fired up, and here we go. Here we go. We're going to blast this thing clean. A lot of stuff came out of there in our power supply. Hopefully we can all see this. Oh man. What the power supply's got to say for itself here. Talk about stuff. This thing is overheating. I hope it survived the storm. Man. Just doesn't want to stop. Probably. Stuff overheats. Put a long video going on here. Okay, well, you got my drift. Okay, so let's fire this thing up and we'll see what kind of problems we might have. And okay, right off the bat, Mr. Fan is slugging away in here. That's got to go. Haven't got adequate ventilation on the top of the power supply where the heat sinks are. So we are going to go into the next stage, which is up on the electronics bench, or on the other in the other shop where the electronics bench is. Of course, beautiful messy thing, as normally us guys go through. We've measured the voltages on the power supply. They have seemed to be very good. It's 11, it's 12 volts, riding nice and smooth on the digital meter. So in this case, since it's the antiquity of the power supply, I've elected just to replace the fan in the power supply because of the type of off and ons. These are real switches, not the touch type of switches on a normal PC. This is a voicemail system, if I neglected to mention. It says, "Thank you for calling, push 1, etc., etc." This is the machine that does that. Okay, we'll be with you shortly. We're going to pull the power supply out. Okay, we've taken Mr. Fan out of here. Mr. Fan. But you can feel that's really, really sluggish. You can feel the texture. It doesn't want to happen. It's also hardwired into that circuit board, so we're going to do the old Clip-O-Rama and see if we can get another 12-volt muffin fan, 12-volt muffin fan to replace it. Been running a long time. These heat sinks got to stay cool in these things because that's where that air goes through to keep those semiconductors at the right values. And that's what I think happened last night. But we'll know when we bring it back on site. Okay, so we've mustered ourselves up a good fan, and we've tested it with our bench power supply. Life is beautiful. Okay, now we're going to install it. Okay, we've installed our fan, and we're going to use the Mr. Weller here. Mr. Weller. We're going to use the big soldering iron for the wires. Don't use this on a circuit board because it will be too much and burn your circuit boards to bits. But you must solder this stuff because of the environment in the power supply itself. It's one of those things that should be soldered. Matter of fact, everywhere should be soldered. There we go. Okay. And we put a little spaghetti here to go over these connections. Make sure those little drops don't go inside the power supply. When you set it up, you could have a short. Guess you're watching the back of my hand. There we go. And blip-de-blip. It's inside there like that. Tape is good, but tape likes to also uncoil in this environment. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Mr. Fan's operating. Nice and smooth, nice and clean. And we heard the computer chirp when we fired it up. So everything looks good. Put it back together. And last but not least, we're going to go in here and reseat all this stuff. Because there's a harsh environment in here. But sometimes these pins and those connectors don't like it, and they get a little snotty in between the connectors. So you straighten them around a little bit. You may give it another lease on life, this thing. So we're good. Everybody seems to be tight. We've reset all the ribbon cables, and we're going to tighten everybody up. Everybody tighten it up. We're going to put it back together, fire it up one more time, then bring it to the site. Bring it back to the site and hope the plot doesn't thicken any further than that. Okay, here we go. Now I know the customer's going to be watching this video, so they'll probably start laughing at me and calling me names, but that's okay. But I did have the courtesy to wipe the coffee off the front, and I did have the courtesy to put all the plastic pieces that were kicked in the machine. So, whatever. Okay, let's turn it on, huh? Yay! That sounds good to me. Everybody sounds good. Everything is doing what it's supposed to do. I don't have a monitor, nothing connected to it. There's no sense in it. We'll bring it back on site and take it from there.